anything on a stick, like food on a stick lately?
I hope to soon.
Oh, are you going to?
I'm hoping, yes. Are you? Have you?
I went last Saturday.
Yes.
I had nothing on a stick, but I had iced tea.
Imagine that. For all of you that know, oh, Snow and Kayleen, imagine she had it. Was it good iced tea at the fair?
It was $6.
It was expensive iced tea.
Iced tea.
Well, Starbucks and everybody else out of the
I know,
out of the
exactly.
water, right?
I know, but I got a little, a nice little plastic thing that I can keep
refill?
refill one. So
Okay.
yeah. So no, I actually went with a friend and I got a free lunch because one of her investment advisors invites their people for a picnic, and so I had
nice. I've always seen those. Is that the kind of behind the pavilion,
yes,
sort of
it
in
is.
that area, the
Yes.
tents? Yeah.
Yeah.
So the pavilion, for those of you not from Iowa, is where everybody shows things like cattle and is where the pavilion's at.
Yes, exactly. So
which actually by the pavilion, then you have the beef, where the beef producers, the Cattlemen's Association.
Oh my gosh, good
That's
food.
kind of, they even have like the beef sundae, right? Like mashed potatoes with the beef and then the tomato on top.
Yeah.
So
you can also get salad on it. So it's not just for the carnivore.
That's true. It is not. The vegetarians can go to the state fair and eat as well.
Absolutely, they can. Yes.
I like pork chops on a stick. I will say I like that. I was thinking I love the gyros. Those are my favorite. I love gyros, and they have really good ones at the state fair. And then I heard on the radio they were talking about an egg roll that has apples in it.
Well, that sounds
and it kind of sounds kind of good.
Yeah.
And then I love the chocolate chip cookies, and I like it when you walk through the Varied Industries building and you got your hot cup of chocolate chip cookies with a ice cold glass of milk. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway.
Yeah, it's all about the food. It's
it really is.
Well,
and the animals. I have to say, like, so I was a former shower.
Oh, you were?
I did, and I used to stay in the youth building with my friend Kim. Kim's watching. Hello. We used to stay at the youth building. Yeah.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah, no, I was never a state fair kid.
No.
No, that just wasn't part of my DNA. Yeah.
My dad, when he showed at the state fair, they used to have like lofts above the cattle, and they didn't have the youth building there yet.
Oh, they slept up there?
Because you,
oh my gosh.
So you slept up above your cattle, because like a lot of people travel a long ways.
Yes, they do.
And so if you don't stay in a motel, or if you don't have campers and with things like that. So the youth building now is an option, but they used to sleep above them.
No kidding. Yeah, I mean, it's a 10-day event for people that are showing and displaying and whatnot. And for the amateur state fair like me, it's like, get your, Tootsie Roll on a stick or whatever it is. So
and they have great deals, because actually a client of mine just said, hey, can we buy a lawnmower at the state fair, because they're buying an acreage. And thank goodness they called me. That's what you should do. You should call your lender if you're thinking about buying something at the state fair.
Yes.
And you're buying a house. That was really wise of them.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can buy everything at the state fair.
Yes, you can. And they have bargains.
Yeah, they always have bargains. Yes. But you kind of think you can buy a house at the state fair.
I think that is one of the non-optional items.
Yeah, you can buy things for your house.
Yes.
Yeah.
But actually buy a house. So if I'm at the state fair and they have a little booth and I'm like, oh, but look, Kaylin, I'm on the internet, right? Because they have a booth probably where I could do that.
Sure.
And I'm like, I found the house I want, so I can just buy it. So
you could,
right? I mean, what are my downfalls? I don't know. So like, if I found my house, or I think I found my house. So
what do you need me for?
Yeah, what do I need you for, Kaylin? Not to be rude. That's kind of rude, but
it's kind of rude. Yes. Very rude. Well, that's a valid question, because you can find things on the internet. You're going to find houses and you're going to search and all that.
And a lot of people actually do or they find their options.
They find their options, and that's fine. I mean, that's what the internet's for, and that's why we make a great effort when we're working with sellers to tell them how to get the house ready, because really your first showing is the internet.
Yes, that's true.
The second showing is when people actually make an appointment to go into it. So yes, you can find a list of houses on the internet, and that's fine. I can sit down with you and consult with you to find out if those houses are really going to meet your needs.
Oh.
Yes. So what we want to do is, and that first initial search that you have done tells me a little bit about what you're looking for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I look at your list. I'm like, yep, that's a great list. Let's get started there. But how about if we add this one and this one that you may not have considered.
Right, because after you kind of figure out what somebody's looking
Yes.
for, a lot of times, because you as a realtor have been through
A lot of homes.
lot of homes.
Right.
And so if I
Yep.
say I want a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, but actually I hate galley kitchens, right?
Right.
I want one that then you're like, oh my gosh.
Right. That one they have on your list, the pictures don't look like it, but it is a galley kitchen.
Right.
So, so things like that, I can kind of help navigate you through that. Neighborhoods, absolutely.
I mean, especially if you have a certain
right.
school system that you're hoping to be in.
Yeah,
things
exactly.
like that.
Exactly. So, and I'll say, well, that backs to XYZ. Is that okay with you? And so forth. So a lot of times just getting the pictures on the internet isn't going to give you all the information that you need about that house.
Mhm.
So that's what I can offer to you and assess your needs. And sometimes when you're looking on the internet, they haven't talked to Lisa yet.
Oh, yes, no.
So,
which is super important.
It's super important because you're looking at things like, oh, this sounds great. And I think they have that little calculator on the side, which is fine-ish, but it really doesn't give you the whole story.
No, because your whole story on that is to putting your taxes, your insurance. Do you have mortgage insurance? How much are you putting down compared to what they're saying that
Right.
you're putting down?
Right. HOA dues.
HOA dues. So we add all that in to make sure
Right.
that you qualify,
Mhm.
and that's a big part, that you qualify for that amount,
Exactly.
or that's what you really want your payment to be.
Right. Yes. What you can afford isn't necessarily what you want to pay.
Right.
So exactly.
Yeah.
So really, assessing your needs is really a big thing when you're starting to look for a house because really what you find online is a starting point. I always say that's our first step, and the next step is we sit down and really deep dive into what you really need and what you want. Yep.
Right.
And I work on your behalf. I mean, I'm representing you. If you talk to a seller directly,
Right, you call the sign in the yard.
Right, exactly. Who are they working for?
Mhm.
They're working on their own behalf. They're
Right.
not interested in your interests, they're interested in their interests. And so that's my role, is I am your advocate through the process.
Right, and I would say I think a big part of your realtor, which I always, lots of things about dual agency, but if you really have your own buyer's agent, you are getting that person comps. You are a negotiator. Actually,
Right.
I would say they should put realtor, and you should have realtor/negotiator.
Yeah.
Not for getting people out of countries they got kidnapped from, but it's super, super important.
I would be glad to add that.
But I would say it's really important because
Yeah.
the price that where things are listed, what's the reality of
Right.
that price, which you can't really get that. There's a lot of, just because maybe one website says, here's what we think it's worth,
Right.
that doesn't necessarily mean,
Right.
again, that local, what is it? I've been in the house. They haven't been in the house. I've been in that
I haven't
house.
smelled the house. I mean, I'm serious.
That really is a true thing,
That's
right
the
there.
thing, yes,
Yeah.
I smelled the house.
Right.
And the online evaluations don't really take into effect local markets.
Right.
Local markets are every
Yeah.
market's a little bit different. So,
Yes, you're gonna help with price, right?
Right.
You're gonna help with inspection items.
Inspection items, yep.
That's kind of a big one.
It is. And, and just, when we're formulating the offer, this kind of ties into a lot of these things. We're going to look at what type of loan you're getting. So you've had that conversation with Lisa and talked about with this offer, let's add this, or let's package it in a way that works best for you and your financing and also is appealing to the seller. So what we want to do is we don't want to come in with an offer that the seller's going to go, what the heck is this? We want it to be a nice, clean, straightforward, well-communicated offer that encompasses everything that you want, and to hopefully negotiate on your behalf that will also look well for the seller.
Yes. So you're going to put together the well-packaged offer.
Exactly.
Which is really important because you have, like we've talked about in past videos, sometimes you're in a multiple offer situation.
Right.
And so you want your realtor, who's not the artificial person on the internet,
Right.
presenting, and which
Right.
I think there's a lot of, so somebody like Kaylin has been in the business for a while, well-known, well-respected, that's really that's really important though when you're coming to another realtor to put together what you're offering.
And if we've done our homework on your financing and on what you need and what you want and on this house, hopefully we can package that offer well enough that it's going to be the one that's going to be looked at first.
Right.
So yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Oh, paperwork. I just love paperwork.
And even though there's the Paper Reduction Act, we
yeah,
have not really seen it in
we
our
have not
industry.
seen it. Yes.
No.
The closings haven't gotten less paper, and the offers. I found the purchase agreement for our first home.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was legal size paper, but it was a page and a half.
Oh,
I'm thinking, how did that happen? Because now the purchase agreement is 6 full pages.
woo.
Woo! Yeah. So
And that doesn't include like addendums if you add them and things like that.
And the
Those are all
disclosures and all that kind of thing. So
Right.
the paperwork is a big deal because the paperwork includes a lot of terms and
And it's a
conditions.
legal document.
And it's a legal document, right? So we can't just say, I want to offer you X amount of dollars and I want to close on this date.
Right.
It's got a lot more
Right.
to it. So navigating the paperwork, and that's part of that offer is making sure that paperwork is complete and accurate so there's no question about it through the process.
Right, and once somebody signs it,
Mhm.
unless there is an addendum or everybody agrees to it, that really is the offer, that really is what are the
Yes.
terms. And so you want somebody to be able to correctly fill it out.
Right, right.
And
Be able to explain it to you
Yes.
so you understand, because there's a lot of paperwork, a lot of terms that are flying at you that we work with every single day, but we want to make sure that we put that together for you so it's you don't have to worry about that paperwork.
Yes.
Yeah. Communication.
Communication.
Yeah.
We talk about that a lot.
And
That
we talk a lot.
We do talk a lot. Maybe just
We're
a little,
talkers,
a lot.
Yeah, communication, that's a big deal. And you know, and communication comes in all stripes. I mean, it comes in texts, emails, phone calls, messenger,
Yes.
whatever.
Yes.
But yeah, communication is to making sure you understand the process. And as we go through it, because it's, you know, there's going to be, and I've always find there's like this rush of communication as you're looking for a home.
Mhm.
You're talking almost daily, multiple
Yes.
times a day. And then all of a sudden you get to the offer and through inspections, and then there's kind of a lull.
There is
Because
kind of a lull.
really who you're
Yeah.
communicating now with is with Lisa,
Right.
you know, that process. So it's really, I'm taking care of things behind the scenes that you may not see. They always say there's like 99 things that could go wrong with a real estate transaction. I try to make sure you only know about one of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
So, and I think that's what the great realtor is, that you have that, hey, everything's going along, you know, just
Mhm.
fine. And knowing that they are taking care of those things
Right.
on that back end for you.
Yeah.
Which
Checking
again-
with your lender, checking with the other
Yes.
agent, how are things going and whatnot. So I try to find out things before we need to
Right.
address them. I suppose that would be a way to put it, be proactive.
You're proactive.
Mhm. Yep,
Yep.
exactly. Yep. And through the sale, before the sale, after the sale, a network of
That's
referrals.
huge. That's really big. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's plumbers, that's electricians,
Yeah.
that's
Oh, that's
yard work.
through the process. It's the lender.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, the
Let's
lender.
start at the top.
There's the inspectors.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Inspectors.
inspectors. Then there's okay. we
Knowing
need to
good ones and bad ones.
right. And you need to get estimates for things. So who do you
Yes.
call for this? There's electricians. There's radon mitigation. There's pest inspections. There's all that thing that all those people that help you through the process and then after. Because I'll get calls all the time. Who would you recommend for painting? You know,
Yes.
or for this, or I need some landscaping, or I need to have somebody look at my foundation or whatever. So that's really what, over the years, from my own personal experience and from working with my buyers and sellers, is finding a network of referrals for you.
Yeah, and actually, like other thing, hair, Lisa and Ankeny and Michelle and Ames. So
Yes, exactly.
I mean, I will say, right? It's actually
I get that. Where do I go get a haircut? Well,
I do.
yeah.
I say that. I think that's a funny one, but I think I just saw somebody down in Ankeny,
Yeah.
which actually just referred to Lisa. But I was sitting there, and they said, "We just moved here," and she goes, "Can you tell me where to get my hair done?" Like,
Oh, right.
right? I
Yes.
mean, I just think that that sometimes
It is important.
even those personal
Yep.
things,
Yep.
as well as the electrician, inspector, and plumber.
Right, exactly.
So, roofer.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Insurance. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, insurance. Yeah, because you got to talk to the insurance guy while you're doing
Yep. While you're
this.
doing all that.
Yep, exactly.
Mhm.
So there's lots of reasons why you need have an agent working on your behalf. Finding that house on the internet is fine, and go ahead and do that, and go ahead and look at that, because that's where our listings are too. That's where
Yep.
we have the photos. But from that point on, the internet can't unlock that door for you.
No, and I think that unlocking that door, I think it's a big investment that you're
Yes.
making. So
One of
for
the biggest financial investments you'll ever make.
yeah, so I think for most people that would be the case. So would you take $100,000-$200,000 and just go, oh, I think I'm going to throw my money on black number 7, right? So
Not me.
right,
Yeah.
I mean some people do, but I mean I think that that's another way
It's a
to look
gamble.
at
Mhm.
that. It is a gamble if you choose to just rely on the internet to make that
To
purchase.
get right, exactly, absolutely. Have any questions about this and anything else throughout the process? You just let us know, because we're always here.
We are, and if you go to the state fair, have fun. The weather is beautiful.
Yes, it's great. Eat something on a stick. You got to do that. You have to see the butter cow and yeah. So, and the baby pigs.
Do they still wine stomp out there?
I have no idea.
Oh, they used to wine stomp. Anyway,
Okay. Have fun. It's a great 10 days.